Okay, in the last tutorial we looked at how the detail goes into a slab, and this is like an external courtyard slab with some pavers, some leveling sand and some gravel. I want to get into walls now, and I'm just going to go to the ground floor view and pick a wall that could be of interest. I will do this in one of these views here. I'll pick something that's a little bit more solid to the outer side. So let me go and create a new section, and I'm just going to choose something simple, which could be like a garage wall here, and I'm just going to do a section. The section doesn't have to go through the whole building. You could just do a section to here, for example, and we'll just go to that view, and we want to detail up this information here around the garage or the carport. What's really cool about these sort of tools, you can start to see issues with the model that could cause problems during the build. Really, you might want this wall to be a load bearing wall to pick up this one here, or you could have a steel beam in here. Probably a little expensive to add the steel beam. So there are ways to cut sections through everything and then pick up issues that could be apparent with the design. That's the beauty of moving from 2D to 3D. You can start to see all this this happening. So I want to just pull that out a little bit. I want this one to be 1 to 20, and I want it to be detailed, and I want to start to get into some of the walls here. So this wall here, I want to add a few things and just show you some of the tools that you could use to detail up a little more. Just like in the last tutorial, we have edit type, and we can go and add items to the wall, or we could use the items that are already in the model here. So if I just go and grab one that is a typical default, brick veneer and steel, or brick veneer and timber, or double brick, I'll do brick veneer and steel. This will automatically go and populate some of the information. It's going to tell us that constraints aren't satisfied. We won't worry about that right now. I'll just go remove constraints. If we do need to move it, we can move it back according to how we're setting out this grid. Now what I've gone here is it is a brick and steelwork wall. It's also actually facing the wrong way. So if I go back to our ground floor view, we can fix this. This one was facing inwards. We want it to be facing outwards, so we're just going to hit that to face it outwards. I did unconstrain it, so I'm going to align that outside face to here, and that should clean it up. And I'm just checking here that my grid is right. Looks like it's moved a little bit. So let me just do a couple of things. I'll just go and click on that, and this grid line, I want this to be at 6 meters. That was locked. Let me just pull this out. 200. And don't like to see those leaders. Now with these grids, I don't want to move again, so I'm going to go and select all instances, an entire project, and now go to the pin tool and pin them, and then make sure they don't get moved again. So that kind of locks them down. So here we have our dimensions all set up with our grids, and we don't want those grids to move. There's other ways to do this as well. You could put the grids in another file and link them in, reference them in. That's just, yeah, depends on the practice of the project. So back to that view here. Here's our wall sitting in the right location. I've just gone and used the default styles. Again, you can go back and do all the stuff like I did in the last tutorial. Walls, though, however, have a few more options to them. So we've got the option to view them in plan and in section, and we can start to edit different parts of those walls, like maybe how it wraps. So wrapping at inserts, we could say let's wrap from the interior and then wrapping at the ends, I want to wrap it from the exterior. At the moment we're saying it's an external functioning wall. We can also go and edit the structure here, and you may want to modify some of these elements just like we did before, or insert extra elements. So at the moment there is no plasterboard lining, and maybe you don't have plasterboard lining in your garage, maybe you do. I'm just going to go and insert it. This one is sitting outside the core, so I want this actually to be, sorry, it's here. I want this to be moved down, and I'm going to say that it's not structure, it's a finish. This one is going to go to finish 2, and I'm going to say it's 10 mil of gypboard. So I'm just going to choose the default gypsum wallboard. It cuts with the sand material, it's got some appearance in here. Let's go OK, and I'll say that this one is going to just be a basic 10 mil, and that's that. So that's just added, and you can see here the total thickness has gone up here to 260. Now there's other things as well you'll see here. There's resistance and thermal mass, so you get your R value information you could use, and depending on what type of insulation goes in here, if you're working with Kingspan or Rockwool, one of those providers, they can help you with doing your R values or your U values depending on where you are. The things I want to show though is modifying, or sorry, adding sweeps and reveals. So sweeps, where you can have items sweeping around the outside face of the building. At the moment, we're just going to go with the default one, and I'm just going to go apply, and you'll see like a shape come up here. We can load profiles and stuff. We'll be doing some of that later. And the other one I'm going to add is a reveal, and again, all I did was just add, and we'll go apply. Now this one is sitting in the wrong place. So here I can actually go and adjust some items here. So I'm going to do this all on the exterior. In fact, I'll tweak a few things. So the reveal is going to be on the exterior, and I want this not to be from the base but from the top. Just go apply to see it going up to the top, and I want the distance to maybe be negative 600. Go apply. And maybe the offset needs to be 50, and apply. Sorry, negative 50. Apply. And there could also be things like setbacks. So 50. Apply. Not doing that. They might do it in 3D from the side of the building. I'll have it running all the way, and then you can flip it if you need to, but we're not going to do that. So that's just a reveal, and if we just zoom in a little bit here, you can sort of see how far it is into the building. Here I want to maybe have this one be some skirting, so I'll just go back to the sweeps. We do have this skirting in here. I'm going to see what profiles. I will grab a profile from here from the library. So here we have under P profiles, there'll be some wall profiles. A lot of this will be by default in your application, and I'm just going to see whether there's anything that could represent my skirting. Not really, but I'll just choose this one for the sake of the demo and go open. Just doing a little upgrade and go apply. Sorry, here's the one that we just loaded. Apply, and here it is. It's pretty big, but that's kind of the principle. A profile is just like a closed polyline that you can use to sweep or reveal around the building. Same here. If you apply it, like here, it could be a channel. We're just going to leave it on default for now, and I actually want to flip this, not vertically, sorry. Cuts wall is cuttable. You can start to tinker with all of these. I'll go from the base, and what do we have? 260 for the width of the wall. Sorry, 0, 260. and it's going to be all over the place. Need like a little diagram to explain this a bit better. So negative 260, and then I want to add a little bit more. I'm just going to fake this for now. So negative 270 will give me something that could potentially represent a skirting board, maybe 20 mil, negative 290. Okay, so that might represent my skirting. This might represent a reveal within the top of the wall. And again, the reveal at the moment, this is offset negative 50. I might have it as negative 100. That's looking a bit better. Okay, so this will make sense in a second. So I've got something that could represent a skirting board, something that could represent something interesting in the wall, like a nice reveal, just to break it up a little bit. There are other tools here where you can modify some layers, merge regions, split regions of the walls. So split region is pretty much what it says. You can go and split it. That will start to break things up. I won't do that for now. So here is some of the detail on the wall of what that's actually done. So when I don't select on it, you'll see it's a bit cleaner. Now, because this wall is going below the ground, 600 mil, this skirting isn't going to show in the right place. So I could either drag that up, or I could just go back here and just adjust that. So all I did before, if you're wanting to see this all done again, we'll go and do our sweep. It is sitting inset from the wall because I'm faking the item at the moment. 600, go apply. Allow for the floor slab, which I'm going to say is 150 for the interior. Let's see if that goes right. I bet it's probably not. Let's see if this works. Okay. No, let's just measure it, and we'll get a bit more precise here. This will work. So 600 was correct. So edit type, edit, and sweeps, and 600. And there's a lot of different ways you can do a lot of the stuff. There's probably more advanced tutorials on it. Again, this is just a beginner's tutorial. So when we go to see it in 3D here, and we want to look at that wall, here we have our reveal. Here we have our sweep. I probably should have had an offset at the end just to clean that up. And that now gives us something of interest. If I go to my floor plan view here, and we want to see the skirting inside of that space, I can go to a camera view, and I will grab this view here. So I'm just standing inside the door. What does it look like from the inside with the plasterboard? Here it is. Go fine, realistic. And so this is the component of the wall with the sweeps and reveals, very basic. I could go and grab that wall there, right click, and go and choose all instances in the entire project, change them to be that one that I've just created. So it was the brick veneer 250 steel. Might give me some errors here. Wait for it. Constraints, stress, don't know that. And because I drew these the wrong way around, I'll just flip them, hit spacebar, flip them, and you can see this all coming into the design now. So that is the intro to just doing a bit more with the wall tools, and that was sweeps and reveals.